What kind of country is Myanmar really? A nation with enough natural wealth to become one of the richest countries in Asia, yet trapped in endless conflict for decades. A place that defeated mighty empires, survived invasions, and controlled the world's most valuable jade mines, but still struggles to feed its own people. And the strangest part is this. Every time Myanmar gets close to stability, everything falls apart again. To understand Myanmar, you first need to understand its geography. The country is surrounded by mountains, with a massive plain in the middle. On paper, it sounds perfect. Rich forests, fertile land, huge mineral reserves, and strategic trade routes. But those mountains became a curse, because every mountain region developed its own ethnic groups, armies, and local rulers. Whoever controls the mountains controls the resources. Whoever controls the resources controls the guns. And in Myanmar, guns became survival. Myanmar produces more than 90% of the world's jadeite supply. This is not just being number one. It is almost a monopoly worth billions of dollars every year. One single stone can fund an entire militia. But ordinary people rarely see that money. Most of it ends up in the hands of armed groups, elites, and powerful networks. This created a dangerous reality. In many parts of Myanmar, putting down weapons means risking starvation. The mountains became banks and guns became jobs. And this is why conflict never truly ends. But geography alone did not destroy Myanmar. History made things even worse. For centuries, Myanmar was ruled by powerful dynasties that briefly united the country. Empires rose rapidly across Southeast Asia, only to collapse just as quickly. The pattern was always the same. A strong ruler appears. The empire becomes powerful. The ruler dies. Everything falls apart. There were no stable systems holding the country together. Only strongman. One of the greatest examples came during the war between Myanmar and China's Qing dynasty. At the time, the Qing Empire was one of the strongest powers on earth. Emperor Qianlong believed Myanmar would be easy to conquer. He was wrong. China launched 4 major invasions. All 4 failed. Tropical jungles destroyed armies. Disease spread everywhere. Elite soldiers disappeared in the forests. And here is the shocking part. Myanmar was not even fully focused on China during the war. Much of its army was still fighting Thailand at the same time. For a moment, Myanmar proved it could resist even the greatest empires. But then another empire arrived, Britain, after conquering India. Britain wanted trade routes into China, and Myanmar stood directly in the way. The Burmese king responded with confidence, even demanding Britain submit first. The British answered with war. 3 invasions followed across 60 years. Myanmar resisted far longer than many Asian nations under colonial attack. But eventually, Britain won. And then Britain made one decision that changed Myanmar forever. Instead of ruling Burma separately, they attached it to British India. But the deeper damage came from divide-and-rule politics. The British favored certain ethnic minorities for military and government positions while marginalizing the ethnic Burmese majority. Different groups were encouraged to distrust each other. And when the British finally left, they took away their administration and army. But they left the divisions behind. Then came World War II. And one man appeared who might have changed Myanmar forever. His name was Aung San. At first, he cooperated with Japan to push Britain out. Later, he joined the Allies after realizing Japan's true intentions. After the war, Aung San negotiated Myanmar's independence. But his greatest achievement was something even bigger. For the first time in history, he brought Myanmar's different ethnic groups together to sign the Panglong Agreement in 1947. He promised autonomy, equality, and a shared future. For one brief moment, Myanmar had hope. Different ethnic groups sat at the same table and agreed to build one country together. If that agreement had survived, Myanmar today might look completely different. But history turned cruel again. Only months before independence, Aung San and several government leaders were assassinated during a cabinet meeting. In one moment, the future leadership of Myanmar disappeared. And with them disappeared the fragile unity holding the country together. The agreement collapsed. The divisions exploded again. Civil wars began spreading across the country. And ever since then, Myanmar has struggled to escape the same cycle: military rule, rebellion, instability, and conflict. This is why Myanmar's tragedy cannot be blamed on just one dictator or one bad decision. It is the result of geography, colonialism, ethnic division, resource competition, and generations of political collapse all crashing together. Myanmar never lacked courage. It never lacked resources. It never lacked potential. What it lacked was enough time for everyone to trust each other and build a stable future together. Back in 1947, there was one brief moment when that future almost became real. Then one bullet shattered it forever. If you enjoyed this story and want more deep documentaries about hidden history, geopolitical conflicts, and shocking true events from around the world, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next incredible story.